The psychology of dogs follow behavior, attachment, evolution, and the science behind why your dog won't let you out of sight. Because your dog followed you to the bathroom again, and you told yourself it was just a habit. It isn't. And once you understand what's actually driving that behavior, you'll never see those little footsteps behind you the same way again. Dogs follow. It's so constant, so woven into daily life with them, that most people stop noticing it entirely. You stand up, they stand up. You walk to the kitchen, they're already there. You close a door, they wait on the other side. We laugh about it.
Hey,
We
buddy,
post
come on
videos
over.
about it. We call
boy,
them
yes, you are.
Velcro dogs,
All right, group
like
hug
it's a
time.
personality quirk, a cute flaw, an endearing inconvenience. But that framing misses almost everything that's
Ready for our
actually
walk,
happened.
buddy?
The
That's
following
spirit.
behavior
Let's
in
go.
domestic dogs is not a habit, not
For
neediness in
15,000
the human
years,
sense,
dogs and humans
and
have
not a
been
training
strengthened by
failure.
shared neurochemistry.
It is the visible
creating a
surface of
happy
something much
partnership.
older and much more complex. A behavioral system shaped by tens of thousands of years of coevolution, reinforced by neurochemistry, and structured by the same attachment mechanisms that govern how human infants bond to their caregivers. This video is about what that following behavior actually is, where it comes from, what it looks like in the brain, when it's healthy, when it's a signal something is wrong, and what the science says about the difference between a dog who follows because they feel safe with you and a dog who follows because they're terrified of what happens when they don't. The answer involves attachment theory, the neuroscience of social bonding, evolutionary biology, and one overlooked distinction that changes how you should interpret everything your dog does in relation to you. The secure base effect and why it changes everything. In the 1960s and 70s, developmental psychologist Mary Ainsworth conducted a series of experiments that would reshape how scientists understand attachment. The strange situation procedure, as it became known, placed human infants in a room with their caregiver, then introduced a stranger, then briefly removed the caregiver entirely. What Ainsworth was measuring wasn't distress at separation. It was what happened when the caregiver returned and how the child used the caregiver as a base from which to explore the environment. Securely attached infants used their caregiver as exactly that, a base. When the caregiver was present, they explored freely. When the caregiver left, they showed distress. When the caregiver returned, they sought contact, settled quickly, and went back to exploring. The caregiver's presence didn't just feel good, it functionally enabled behavior the infant couldn't perform without it. Decades later, researchers began asking whether dogs showed the same pattern with their owners. The answer was yes, and it was more precise than many expected. A landmark study from Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest tested dogs in an adapted strange situation paradigm and found that dogs explored more freely in the presence of their owner than with a stranger or alone, sought proximity to their owner specifically when stressed, and showed the classic pattern of greeting and settling upon reunion. Approximately 61% of dogs showed a secure attachment profile, nearly identical to the proportion seen in human children. But here's what that finding means for the following behavior specifically. Following is not random proximity seeking. It is the behavioral expression of a secure base relationship. The dog who follows you from room to room is, in the most technically precise sense, keeping their attachment figure in range. They are doing exactly what 15,000 years of living alongside humans has shaped them to do. They are maintaining the bond that, from an evolutionary standpoint, is the single most important variable in their survival.
Ready for our walk, buddy?
15,000
That's the
years
spirit.
of
Let's
not
go.
being alone. To understand
For
why dogs
15,000
follow,
years, dogs
you
and
have to
humans have
understand
been strengthened by
what
shared
dogs
neurochemistry, creating a happy
not
partnership.
domesticated wolves. That framing, though persistent, is increasingly contradicted by the genetic evidence. Dogs are something else. A lineage that diverged from wolves somewhere between 15,000 and 40,000 years ago, and then co-evolved alongside humans in a relationship so intimate and so prolonged that it rewired both species at the neurological level. The Bonn-Oberkassel burial site in Germany, dated to approximately 14,000 years ago, contains the remains of a dog interred alongside 2 humans. The dog had been ill. Dental analysis suggests it suffered from distemper, severe enough that it would have been entirely dependent on human care for the last weeks of its life. Someone kept that dog alive through an illness that should have killed it. Someone chose to bury it with them. This is not the relationship between a human and a tool. This is the relationship between 2 species who had already, by that point, boom,